All right, guys, welcome to the Sports Project. I'm here, as always, John, and I'm here with Wes today because, well, everybody else was just busy, and I'm looking to test this new mic out. And me and Wes, we wanted to talk about college football today because that's what Wes, you pretty much talk about college football now, don't you? That's pretty much what you're focused on now.
Yeah, straight college athletics now, man.
Yeah, so I've been wanting to get you in here and talk about. Well, I've been wanting to talk to you. Period. I mean, honestly, if it was just over the phone, I'd be fine with that. But I've been wanting to talk to you about college football in general because just the rankings I think have been like in question the
Man,
past couple weeks. But I think today, well, since I guess they came, when did they come out? Sunday, or I mean, I'm sorry,
yesterday.
yesterday.
Yeah,
Um,
Selection Sunday.
oh yeah, God, I'm thinking today's Sunday. Um, so when they came out and obviously, like it's been talked about now, and everybody's talking about it, and everybody has their feelings. So, I mean, what are you feeling about it? Because I think you're feeling the same way everybody else is.
So we all knew it was coming. We all knew the teams that were going to be in it, but it still doesn't make it better. The rank, like you get blown out in your Notre Dame, you get blown out in your championship, in your conference title game. Granted, you haven't played in a conference championship game in 130 years. They've never. That
it's a
was their
foot.
first.
It's a football game. Come on now.
Yeah, and you get blown out from a team you beat earlier that season, and you still drop down to four and still get a chance to play. And then you have Ohio State, who played 6 games. One of those games was against a team with a winning record, just one
Oh yeah,
in Indiana, and that was a struggle win. They barely got past them. So okay, I can see Ohio State getting in because they won the Big Ten. Okay, cool, whatever. I've brushed that one off. But Notre Dame, I don't see a reason Notre Dame should be in. It's going to be like it was every year they've been in the playoffs. They haven't won a semifinal game in the 4 times they've been in the playoffs, I believe. They've yet to win a game. It's been blowouts every time. And that's not going to change when they play Alabama this year on New Year's Day. It's going to be like it was in 2012 when they played for the national championship game. So I think A&M deserved that 4 spot. Yeah, we would have seen a rematch with Bama and A&M, but A&M has deserved and has fought and has done what everybody's asked them to do and have won and won convincingly here on the final home stretch of the season.
yep. Well, so all right, so I'm gonna go through the top eight because I think that's really kind of where my bid for somebody getting in really stops.
Yeah, and if you're
Um,
gonna do it, if you're gonna expand the playoffs, this is the year to fucking do it.
I know. So you got number one Alabama 11-0, number two Clemson 10-1, number three Ohio State at 6-0, number four Notre Dame 10-1, number five Texas A&M 8-1, number six Oklahoma 8-2, number seven Florida 8-3, and the dark horse that I think everybody's kind of been fighting for in some way, number eight Cincinnati coming in at 9-0. So Notre Dame, I think, is the biggest one here. And my problem with Notre Dame is I gave them the benefit of the doubt coming into the Clemson game. Like I was like, well, the second time, the
I
ACC
picked them to
title.
win. I picked them to win the second game.
Oh yeah, I did too, honestly. Um, but I was prepared for them to lose
Oh
simply
yeah, 100%.
because Clemson was missing so many people on defense the first time around. And then of course they were missing the big piece, Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
Um, but I gave him the benefit of the doubt on that, thinking, hey, you know what, if you lose by 14 or even 20, I can give you that. I can kind of understand, especially if, maybe one or two of the touchdowns were scored late in the fourth quarter when it really seemed
Yeah,
like
some garbage
Clemson
time
still had
touchdowns.
control of the game. Yeah. So something like that would have happened. Okay. When Clemson came out and just dominated, kind of
17
from
to
the
nothing. Yeah.
yeah, kind of from the get go. I mean, it wasn't ever really a game, unfortunately.
No.
Um, that to me, as as a as a college football playoff selector would have been like, that's probably going to put them out for me right there when the game ended. But then you're going to sit here and tell me that somebody, the whole group, the whole committee sat down and said, well, yeah, number 1, Alabama. Yeah, of course. Oh, well, Clemson. Yeah, got to be number 2. They just beat, Notre Dame. Okay. Well, how are we going to fill these next 2 spots? Well, I guess we'll put Ohio State at number 3 since they're the Big Ten title, and then we'll put Notre Dame at number 4. So that's going to match up Alabama and Notre Dame.
Probably
Somebody didn't stop right there and go,
fuck.
If we think Alabama's better than Clemson, and I mean, I think everybody can kind of agree with that.
Yeah.
We saw what happened with Clemson and Notre Dame. We're not going to go, maybe this Alabama-Notre Dame matchup's not a great idea. No. We're going to go through with it. That's going to be a 40-point game.
Yeah.
A 40-point game.
The spread, I'm telling you, it's going to open up at like Bama at like plus 28. Or not plus, minus 28.
Yeah, I knew what you mean.
Yeah.
Notre Dame plus 28.
Yeah,
Notre Dame
that's
plus
what
50.
That is going to open ridiculous.
This will be the first score line that the lines will be different. You can get Alabama minus 28, or you can get Notre Dame plus 40. which I don't know.
It's ridiculous, man. I don't understand.
That was the part for me, was that nobody looked at that and said, so we're going to put the best team in college football against the team who couldn't beat the team we think is the second best, and who that might even have be debatable. But I don't know. I would probably say Clemson is the best team, especially considering their only loss came from Notre Dame when they were missing Lawrence and so forth. But
it's crazy because if you look at the New Year's Six bowl matchups, they're better than the damn playoffs.
Oh yeah. Actually, I haven't even looked at all of them. I've only looked at a couple.
You got Georgia at Cincinnati at the Peach Bowl.
Yeah, that one.
Which that could be dangerous for Georgia.
Oh yeah.
They've got a lot of opt-outs already.
Well, and so yeah, depending on who plays. So for me, as a Georgia fan, and I think for you, like, winning the Peach Bowl is great, but that's not what's expected here, as even though we haven't won a title since 1980.
Old reliable, 1980.
But it's just what is expected now. And that comes from primarily because of the Mark Richt firing with the Kirby Smart hiring.
Yeah.
It's expected. Oh, yes, no T. Higgins catch. Sweet. I'm only up by 10 points, and he's got T. Higgins left.
I've got Brave, dude.
So, obviously that's where that expectation comes from, here in this state or for that team. But, I just lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? My primary reason for being really excited for this game is, for one, if Cincinnati is for real, then it's going to make for a good game for us to watch as Georgia fans. In general, that's always fun to watch for any football fan. But then not only that, we may feel, justified in at least beating what looks like a good team. Hopefully it's a good game, and, we can say, hey, Cincinnati was a good team and we beat them. And not only that, it's a very good chance for Cincinnati to go, hey, CFP, you missed out. I mean, could you imagine if they come in and were to handle Georgia, like maybe, I don't know, dominate us for the last like fourth quarter, put us up by, or put us down by 2 touchdowns and never give that up or something?
Yeah.
I mean, would be, you'd have to go, there's Cincinnati finishing 10-0 with a win over a pretty, people were arguing that not Georgia should get in, but that, Georgia could have gotten in, had they just won one more game.
Yeah, no, look at 2017. UCF and Auburn in the Peach Bowl. Yeah. Look what happened there. Yeah. You had a team in UCF who felt like they were robbed and should have been in the playoffs, and an Auburn team that had nothing to play for, no motivation.
Yeah.
And
see, that again, that is where that line does kind of get drawn. And that's why I said they have to really handle us. If they just beat us, okay, well, don't get me wrong. I think Cincinnati, you could still look at them and say they're good, but if they really handle us in some way or another, and either they really dominate us, 40-14, or they, like I said, they get in the second half of the game late in the second half and they take control and they never give it up, something like that, then you can go, okay, maybe it wasn't just the fact that Georgia's playing in a Peach Bowl that they really probably didn't care about and they had a bunch of opt-outs. Maybe it really is because Cincinnati was a really good team. But if they just, last second Hail Mary come back and win or something, to me, I think it's still a good Cincinnati team. I think they definitely, to me, with the way Notre Dame was beat, I think you either put A&M or Cincinnati in, to me, just because of the fact that they're the only undefeated team. And the thing is like, if everybody's clamoring for them to get in, every year everybody's clamoring for one of those group of 5 teams to get in. Put them in.
Why not?
Do it. You know what I mean? Just do it. And
see what happens.
Yeah, either you shut everybody up, or you go, okay, maybe these teams are for real. Either way, it's a win-win for the NCAA to me.
It can't be worse than putting Notre Dame in. I mean, they've been blown out every time they've been in the playoffs.
I guarantee you, how many more views do you think? Which one do you think would get more views? Alabama or Notre Dame, or Alabama Cincinnati?
Cincinnati just because of the group of 5 teams.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you gotta figure that people are gonna tune in, because people could say all day, "Oh, Alabama's gonna win. Alabama's gonna win. Alabama's gonna," but you're still gonna turn it because you want to find out. You want to make sure.
I mean, I can guarantee you one of the most watched games this year was Coastal and BYU.
Oh yeah.
That was probably one of the most watched and most exciting game I've seen this season.
Yeah, it was. It was a really good. No, I think my favorite was it was a double OT. I want to say it was not Oklahoma, Iowa State. That was 37-30. That was a good game too, though.
Wasn't Texas Oklahoma double OT?
I don't remember, but I think that was a good one too. I think it was just overtime, but I do remember that game being good. But no, this was a different game. Who was it? It was a double OT. Oh, Notre Dame and Clemson, I think. It was double OT.
I fell asleep during that game. That game was late.
Oh yeah, that was an insane game. I stayed up.
I woke up and it was like double overtime. I was like, "Oh, what the
fuck?" Dude, honestly, I've had that happen before. I think it was I've had it happen a couple times, but I remember in particular, I fell asleep during a Sunday night game, football game, and I fell asleep at like the first quarter, but woke up and it was like the fourth quarter with 2 minutes left. The game ended up going to like double OT. So, but yeah, man, I saw Notre Dame at number 4. I was honestly kind of shocked, because when I was watching College Game Day that day, and then even in the days prior when they were talking about that game, they were like, this is a very important matchup because Notre Dame and Clemson, because depending on how it goes, I think, everybody was saying, depending on how it goes, I think determines whether Notre Dame gets in, it determines if either one of them get in. I think even if Clemson would have fought it out and lost, they may get in, but I don't know if you could put them in over A&M.
Not with 2 losses, no.
Either way, Notre Dame was, it was a very important game for them. And when they lost the way they did, everybody was talking about, if they lost that way, no way that Notre Dame gets in. Like, it's got to be A&M. And then here we go. They lost the exact way that everybody talked about. And
I don't know what goes on with the committee, but they need regular people in there that actually watch football, not just people who have a lot of money.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I hate to say it, man, and I hate
Condoleezza Rice. Like, why the hell is she on the committee?
Like, I mean, why is she picking football teams to be ranked? Like, and like, I get it. Like, I read something the other day, or not the other day. This was actually a while ago, but she's been involved in sports before, and she's done some stuff. But like, man, we need people who are literally doing nothing but watching college football. I mean, I'm sorry, but I mean, how is that wrong? You know what I mean? Like, laugh, but I mean, like, how is that like, that's who I would want, I mean, it doesn't make sense. Notre
Just
Dame
put some
definitely
Joe
got in
Schmoes in there.
because of money. You can't tell me otherwise.
Yeah. Well, that and I think the Brian Kelly talking about how he was going to boycott the playoffs if families couldn't come. Kind of
Well, I mean, is he though? Because
no, the families are allowed to go because they moved the Rose Bowl from California to AT&T Stadium
okay,
in
I hadn't heard
Arlington.
I
Yeah,
hadn't heard anything on it, so I didn't know if they were doing that or not.
yeah. No, they moved the Rose Bowl to Texas, so families are allowed to come, which is why I feel like they put Notre Dame in.
Okay, so I want to talk about that because I dropped a comment on a couple of our pages talking about that, about Brian Kelly talking about he's going to boycott the playoffs if families can't show up. Now, don't get me wrong. I absolutely understand the wanting the families to be there. That
Yeah,
absolutely makes sense. And I feel for you on that. And a lot of people are saying he only said that just to, make the people in power force them to do the right thing
which
or,
I mean,
well,
I feel
do
like
what he
that's what
wanted.
happened.
Oh, it is what
Like,
happened.
yeah,
Absolutely. Um, but a lot of people are saying that was the only reason why he did it. And I don't know, maybe that is, but there's a part of me that thinks he was dead serious and was like, no, I'm straight up going to boycott. Our team will boycott the playoffs.
I don't
If
think he was.
I, I don't know either, but like what I can tell you is didn't make a lick of sense to me
No,
as like,
the committee should have called his bullshit.
I think so too. I would have too. I would have been like, okay, fine, good, boycott him. Like
Yeah,
the worst part was he was saying it before he even played Clemson. Before they even played
because he
Clemson.
knew. He knew.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, and it's funny to me because I remember that coming out and I went, uh, someone texted it to me. I think Kevin. Texted something to me about it. And I was like, wow, that's ballsy. I was like,
Oh,
you gotta
hey,
make it before you can boycott something.
yeah, hey, I gotta go get the kids to bed, man.
See you, brother.
We'll do this again another time.
Oh yeah, brother.
All right, brother. Later.
Peace. Well, that kind of ended abruptly, but it is what it is, man. Y'all keep tuning in, liking, commenting, subscribing. This was just kind of like I said. We had something planned for today. I got a brand new mic, so I was really trying to just test it out. But we did have a true episode planned for today, anyways. This actually just kind of got gifted to me today out of randomness, I guess you could say. It was kind of random. I wasn't expecting to get it today. So that was another benefit. So I was like, well, screw it. We're going to hop on with Wes and see what we can do. Well, I was just like, hey, let's see what we can do. And Wes came through. So, you know, check out the CFP rankings and you'll see it doesn't make any sense. I don't understand why A&M is sitting number 5, but here we are with another year with teams sitting outside the top 4 that probably should have got in, and we'll keep doing that until something changes, I guess. But y'all keep liking, commenting, subscribing, tuning in. And so now we've got Jamie with us. It'll be me, Kevin, Brandon, and Jamie. More than likely, we'll see. It seems like he's with us for good now, but we'll just have to see if he, life gets busy for people. So but we'll we'll see what happens, and hopefully he can stick with us, and hopefully we'll get some more episodes put out for y'all. So, but yeah, y'all keep liking, commenting, subscribing, staying tuned. Peace.